La Copa América. South America's premier tournament is coming to the United States. Beginning June 20th and running all the way to July 14th with the final at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, it's bound to be another football fiesta. 16 teams, 10 from South America and 6 from our region, CONCACAF, will go head-to-head in this continental title fight that has run since 1916, way before the World Cup even existed. Let's roll back the clock and get to know a little more about the longest-running tournament in international football. The first ever Copa América was played in a round-robin style and won by Uruguay, their first of 15 titles. As the year went on, the tournament took on a variety of formats: round-robin groups, home and away matchups spanning several months, and even 2 separate editions in the same year. Since CONMEBOL is the world's smallest confederation with just 10 members, tournament participation has varied from as little as 3 nations to as many as 16, like this year's edition. The last time there were 16 teams in Copa América was in 2016 for the tournament's centennial celebration, coined La Copa América Centenario. And for the first time in its 100-year history, it was held outside South America as it made its way to the U.S. with the final showdown at MetLife Stadium, where Chile lifted the title, denying Messi another shot at lifting any silverware with Argentina. The most recent edition in 2021 was relocated to Brazil because of the COVID pandemic. Argentina and the hosts reached the final in an empty Maracanã stadium where an Ángel Di María goal helped give Argentina their first major trophy since 1993 and a grand total of 15 Copa Américas, tying Uruguay's long-standing record. Many say had it not been for that title, Argentina wouldn't have been propelled to take the World Cup just a year later. This summer, the Copa América returns stateside once again. The biggest stars will step foot on American soil: Messi, Vinicius Jr., Valverde, Luis Diaz, Pulisic, Alphonso Davies, and many more. But who will be next to lift the Copa América in its 48th edition? Can Leo Messi, who now plays club football in the United States, lift La Decimosexta? Or will Brazil, Uruguay, or even the Stars and Stripes take the throne home?
Great breakdown.
Nico.
Good job.
That was great.
La Copa América, I'm excited.
I could hear the excitement in your voice.
It's fun.
We locked in some predictions ahead of the Euros. We're going to do the same thing for Copa America. And Charlie Davies, you are going to kick us off, sir. Let's look at your predictions for this tournament. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Champion, Argentina. They have the easiest path to the final, they don't really have to worry about anyone really till the final. So that's why I'm going to go with them as champions. Runner-up, Uruguay. I think Uruguay, they just have something about them. This Bielsa's side is just running hard. I just feel that they are the team that's going to get to the final. They're in form. I know Colombia is as well, but I just feel that with Darwin Nunez leading the line, which we'll get to later, I think they'll get there. Biggest surprise, Canada. I think they have a lot to gain in this tournament. They don't have to play Colombia. They don't have to play Uruguay. They don't have to play the U.S. And they play Argentina in the first game. That maybe gives them a good test. They could be the surprise to not only get out of the group, but get to the semifinal to play in a rematch versus Argentina, which would be pretty special for Jesse Marsch. Top goal scorer, Darwin Nunez. 8 goals in his last 5. He's scored in 5 successive matches for Uruguay. The guy's on fire. He scored in Argentina, he scored in Colombia, and he scored against Brazil in World Cup qualifiers. Hey, maybe Darwin Nunez can do that for Liverpool next season. Player of the tournament, the champions, Leo Messi. So if you're player of the tournament and you win Copa America, you're not stopping now. Get to a World Cup. How far did the U.S. get? Unfortunately, I see them just coming to a stop in the quarterfinals. It's Brazil or Colombia. We got to see how they played, and they obviously much improved against Brazil, but still, I think they're a ways off from beating Brazil.
I like it. I like it a lot, Chuck. I like it so much, in fact, that I picked the exact same ballot. Look at this.
All that change was
What up?
Susanna Fuller.
Let's go.
Great minds, great minds. Yeah, I mean, literally, like, I echo everything that you said. I'm really excited about Canada. I think that it's just I liked the way their two friendlies leading up to this. There were moments, and I think that they are one of the teams that can actually surprise people and maybe get out of the group stage.
Especially with Chile and Peru, not to overlook them, because if you lose Argentina tonight, the next game against Peru becomes must win.
Yeah.
And Chile and Peru historically are not at their peak. They're well off the mark.
100%.
A good opportunity there for Canada to become that surprise.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just hard to get past Argentina, isn't it? And I love what you said about Darwin, because this guy, he just cannot stop scoring goals for Uruguay. He has absolutely shined under Bielsa. I'm really excited to see him in this competition. And of course, our guy Leo, he's going to be the player of the tournament, because why stop now? To Chuck's point.
Nice.
Chuck, great minds, man. Alexis, you're up.
Okay. What you guys might not know behind the scenes is that Charlie hit reply all when he sent his. So I made mine just a little different because I already knew what he was going to pick. So obviously Argentina, I think, are going to win it. For runner-up, I went with Brazil. I just wanted to switch it up from Uruguay. I think Uruguay has all the pieces to win the whole thing. Really, picking runner-up and champion was just kind of picking from the top three teams in my eyes. Biggest surprise, I think Ecuador. I think Ecuador just have a lot to shine. As you look at the sort of the nations that are taking part in this, they are your big three, and then everyone else, other than your bottom maybe two or three, kind of fit all in the same spot.
Yeah.
I could see any one of these. I could have easily picked the U.S. to be a surprise. I could have picked Canada, which is a great choice, especially when you see the teams they're going to go up against.
I like that shout.
Yeah, I want to give a little love to Ecuador. I think they have a lot to play for. Top scorer, player of the tournament. If you're winning, and also you take the penalties, I think you're going to be Leo Messi's going to have that all. And you know what? As a group, I'm a little bit upset with you guys. You know, we've sat at this desk and we've said, where should the U.S. finish? What's their quality? They should get to a semifinal. If they don't get to a semifinal, it's a failure.
They
If they don't
should.
get to a semifinal, it's a failure.
Yeah.
So I backed our own words. I think they will get to
No,
that
here's the
semifinal.
thing. We said they should. That doesn't mean they will.
doesn't
Well,
mean
maybe
they
I
will.
just believe. Maybe I believe.
But
You
I
play for the
like
team too,
that.
Virginia.
Keep it
I believe
positive. Unlike Nico
semifinal.
here.
Also,
So
and then for
why stop at the semifinals then? I'll ask you then, why stop at the semifinals?
You know what? You're
Because
right.
then he
Let's
can't
go
get Brazil.
America. Let's go America.
Should be a U.S. in the runner-up department.
I don't think necessarily U.S. not getting to a semifinal is a failure. Full stop failure is not getting out of the group. You're expected to get out of the group, and you're probably expected to lose to Brazil or Colombia.
If we finish at the quarterfinals, you'll sit there and say, Greg Berhalter didn't do enough. This team didn't do enough.
Right.
They have the quality to go forward. So I believe in our boys.
This is the
semifinal.
story.
I like the positivity.
The story of the last 2 years, not overachieving, not underachieving, doing what we've always done. And sadly, I think that's where the U.S. is going to end. If
All
we
right,
can pull
let's pull up Nico's ballot.
Argentina does have an easier path to the final, let's call it. Yes, that side of the bracket with Ecuador, Venezuela in that group, you're going to run into one of those. And the other side of the bracket is fairly strong. To choose one of the top three teams there, I'm going to go with Colombia. You have to go through the U.S. and then you either have to go through Brazil. It's going to be one of those three teams in the finals. I would be shocked if it's not one of those three teams in the final. And it's so close, it's anybody's, really. Venezuela has been playing really well under Bocha Batista, and they have a group where they can really dream of getting out and making a splash in a Copa America for the first time in a very long time. Mexico is not at their best. Ecuador is probably the greatest competition, and I think man for man, they're better than Jamaica, although we've seen a really good Jamaica recently. Jamaica could be a surprise. Who knows? Out of the CONCACAF teams eliminating the U.S. and Mexico, you never know. And on that note, Salomon Rondon, he's in really fine form going into Copa America. I didn't want to choose Messi. I didn't want to choose Lautaro Martinez. Let's give it to Salomon Rondon to see what they do. Maybe they get to a semifinal against Argentina. And Lautaro Martinez, player of the tournament. Not as many goals as Salomon Rondon.
Hold on, time out. Lautaro Martinez cannot be player of the tournament if he is not the top scorer.
Okay, what if?
That is a fact.
Okay, that's not.
I'm telling you right now.
We had Darwin Nunez.
No.
Okay, hold on.
Good.
Okay, what if Salomon Rondon scores 3 goals against Mexico, 1 goal against Jamaica, a goal elsewhere in the group stage, finishes with 5 goals. But Lautaro Martinez gets goals in
a couple in the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. Scores in all the knockout stage games, but it's not 5 goals. But he comes up big when you need him most, and he could be player that can give you player of the tournament.
Is he going to be more important for Argentina than Leo?
No.
But he's
Lautaro
gonna be-
Martinez being player of the tournament doesn't happen with Messi without Messi having
Okay.
a good tournament.
As scores a couple game winners, I can see it happening.
But in your mind, you think that's possible?
It's going to be very difficult, but hey, predictions are fun. I didn't want it to be Argentina, Brazil, blah,
Messi,
blah, blah,
Messi, yeah.
You forgot to
I wanted
answer
to
for your anti-American stance. What's that?
Yeah.
Is this
not
a reflection
overachieve.
of what your heart feels, or is this more just
A little bit.
Okay.
If they lose in pens,
Who?
in the quarterfinals?
The U.S.
U.S.
Okay. Against,
But they played
that's fair.
You had to have played.
defensively 0-0
you had- you-
or
No,
played
I-
well?
Either way,
Mind
you get
it.
to pens. That means you have played well.
And you lost to Brazil
But you
or
didn't
Colombia.
played well but didn't impress? Then no.
Okay.
They have to play on the front foot. They have to go after teams. They have to show their
Was
their
the
talent.
friendly against Brazil on the front foot?
Enough.
That's good. You could take Brazil to pens like that.
All right.
I'll take it.
And Colombia.